of the excited to be in your faces again. I love you guys so much. Thank you for your time, your energy, and your consistency. It's been a lot for us. We really appreciate you guys. You guys have been amazing so far, and it's only us that will come and say thank you, thank you, thank you for all you guys have been doing. My name is Taki. You can spell it as Darki, and then you know it's double E. Welcome again to another amazing segment of the news. This is the only space in the world where we talk about Afrobeat and the guys that makes the beat. Today's news is buzzing, like I always tell you. We have a lot of breaking news that has made it to today. We have, trust me, we have Tua Savage coming out to give us details of what our health look like. At the same time, we have Burna Boy with obviously his numbers, Rema doing crazy numbers. Davido met with somebody and then they called them the Freedom Fighters. Who is this person? I'm sure with all of this, if you still want to live the news, bro, I'm telling you, you're gonna do yourself a disservice. Also, we have Shode, a new guy on the block who dropped his project today, and he actually had to eulogize Burna Boy and Olamide on the project. So all of these ones, I will give you guys all the updates because of the news. Want to implore you guys to please put on your notification button so you'll be the first person to know whenever we make a video or content or a post. Let's begin the news proper today with no other person than Babai Beji talking about Davido, amazing guy, one of the best we have so far. Now it's just sad that for this week it has been a roller coaster for Davido with Burna Boy with series of insults here and there, but surprisingly, and this is out of goodwill, Davido has chosen to be to pay no attention to all of those banters, and I think this is the right way to go as a big artist as he is. Moving on, we saw Chris Brown's Sensational. I've just surpassed 7 million streams on Pandora Music. Like I always tell you, Pandora is only available in the US, and then we're seeing Davido just doing figures above 7 million Pandora in the US. That's an amazing number. Now, for Pandora, right, our Afrobeat artist numbers are so restricted. Like, we have like, now for Spotify, we're doing 1 billion, we're doing 5 billion, WIZKID is about 6 billion, Burna Boy is about 5 billion, Rema is doing about 3.2 billion. Like, we have numbers when it comes to Spotify and all these DSPs, but then for Pandora, our numbers are still like in the million folds because it's quite difficult to penetrate the Pandora space. But bit by bit, Afrobeat is doing all of that effortlessly. Moving on, we saw Chris Brown's Sensational with Davido and Luje have just surpassed 43 million streams on Spotify, and that's a massive one for Chris Brown. Obviously, now Chris Brown, like I think I've said it before, Chris Brown deserves a national award. Like he has made sure he's putting Afrobeat on the big stage. Now his features, the one he's done one with Saz and Loj, that song with Mona Lisa about obviously goes to the US with 500,000 unit sales. Davido, Loj with Sensational, that one got Davido his first entry on the Billboard award, on the Billboard 100. Like Chris Brown just making sure everybody's winning via his platform, and he's doing that effortlessly. Kudos to Chris Brown for making sure he puts Afrobeat on his back. At the end of the day, it is safe to say if there's anybody who have supported Afrobeat from obviously from international space, we have to give much credence to Chris Brown. Moving on, we saw Davido Kante, the one who worked with Faith on that project, have just surpassed 40 million stream on Spotify. An amazing one for Davido, surpassing 40 million stream. He's really not against Faith. We say congrats. Obviously, Faith also will be ripping off this one for having 40 million stream on Spotify. Moving on, we saw Davido after his sojourn in Spain, meeting up with footballers, Memphis Depay, Camavinga, Vinicius Junior, Jude Bellingham, like amazing footballers. You've seen them, and then you see these guys earning as much as 500,000 euros every week, 300,000 euros every week. Some even go as much as 700,000 euros every week. Davido came out as a profession, and then he came out to confess where he said, "Footballers they enjoy you." Be like I choose wrong profession, bro. So basically, like for an artist to make about 1 million, basically you have to do like a big show. Not even the O2. The O2 might not give you 1 million. I'm not lying to you. The O2 might not give you 1 million because we've seen the O2 for Afro artists, it gave them about 700,000 plus thereabouts. But then for footballers, they would make 1 million in a month. They make about €1 million in less than a month, about 2 weeks on. So for some people, they make it in about 9 days. Yeah, make it in 9 days. For some, make it in 7 days. For some, make it in footballer. Yes, we have people earning about £2 million every week in football. And Davido is saying it's looking like he actually chose the wrong profession. Moving on, we saw Davido and Very Dark Black Man. Now we are sure that Dark Man is in London with Sunday, not having fun. And Davido, obviously with Dark Man, shows that he also is in London. Now look at the trip. Davido has just been everywhere. I won't lie. It was in Nigeria over the weekend. Flew to the country, flew to Nigeria over the weekend. Flew to Spain, spent some days, back to the UK. See, if you have a private jet here, you can go anywhere. That's just what it feels like to live the life of your dreams. David is currently in the UK, and just to stop by, we saw a very dark black man actually going to have a stop by with Davido, having pictures where David even posted it with the caption where he said, freedom fighters, very dark black man. So basically, with the S involved, it means him and this guy are both freedom fighters. I'm moving on. We saw Davido once again representing his brand, the Mattel brand. Davido is always doing this. And you understand why the Mattel brand will not want to let this guy alone, because he is doing a good job and a job well done. We saw where he came out to, according to the brand, Davido had a caption where he said, an unforgettable night in Paris, where we celebrated, so there was a new brand released and Davido was there left and the red to actually celebrate with them. So if I were you, I'll do the calculation from UK. Okay, so basically from Spain to France, back to UK. It's been a long journey. Davido is always on the road, because we know for the Cognac brand, they have their headquarters in France. And Davido, whenever he's there in France, he's always visiting the Mattel headquarters. Moving on, we have Burna Boy as the next guy on the news. We saw Burna Boy was seen in the studio working with Lyric. For those of you who know, Lyric was one of the first producers that Burna Boy ever worked with in his initial in those early days songs. We saw Lyric working with Burna Boy, giving us amazing bangers at the time. Burna Boy got so big, working with some international spaces and all of that. It has probably maybe limited his work with Lyric, but now he's back with his own, obviously his own label, and maybe that's given him a leverage to be able to work with Lyric once again. I will saw them in the studio about to give us an amazing one. And whenever we see Burna Boy in the studio era, this is a new year, and it's expected that Burna Boy would come through with an album before the end of the year. Moving on, we saw Coming Home, Usher and Burna Boy song currently sit at number 26 on the USA iTunes top song. That's a massive one. This song is one underrated song. I love it so much, and I'm sure a lot of you guys love the song so much. As it stands, this song is the most performing or the best performing song of the Usher's projects. Still on Burna Boy, we saw Alejandro Balde, Barcelona left back, one of the fastest left back we have in the club. We saw where he came out to say that Burna Boy Last is one of the favorite songs of all time that he listens to. And now this is something with the Spanish guys. They love Afrobeat a lot. We've seen them whenever there's a show, whether it's Rema or it's Davido or it's Burna Boy or it's Odumo the Black, whoever it is that is doing a show in Spain, they all are coming out in their numbers to come celebrate with this person, have fun, doing massive thingy, and they have never failed to not to attend. Basically, they are always creating out that time to attend. Either it is before a match or after, either it's after the match or just to the match, they would always be in attendance for that. And that's a very big one. It just shows that Afrobeat is growing so well in Spain. Moving on, we saw Burna Boy and Byron Messi and Taliban's 2 have just surpassed 30 million plays on YouTube across all uploads. At the same time, we saw Burna Boy Ye have just surpassed 300 million plays on YouTube across all uploads. So what it means is from the audio to the video, everything that has to do with the lyrics video, everything that has to do with this song on YouTube have just surpassed 300 million streams on YouTube. Moving away from Burna Boy and Davido, let us see what Rema is doing in the department. Yesterday, we confirmed that Rema was going to be performing at the Brit Awards 2024, and that was a big news for Rema. But today, Rema is setting the stage again for another. We saw Rema coming out to speak about his capabilities, and then he said, some artists know how to sing, some artists know how to work, some artists know how to hustle, and it's all cool if you can do this like in Pete, but then he said one thing that gives him a step above others is that he can sing, he can walk, and he can hustle. He says some artists leave the hustling part to the label team where they just allow the label go and hustle and come back. But then he said Rema is always working, he's always singing, and he's always hustling. So basically, he is not leaving the hustling thingy to the teammates or to the label mates or to their record deal or all of that. He is also making sure he's also hustling to put food and basically and create more revenues for the label, and that's what has given him a step ahead of every other person. Moving on, we saw Rema have just surpassed 3.2 billion career streams on Spotify across all credits. Massive one we saw where one song alone has given Rema about 1.3 billion stream, and the Countdown initially has done about 600 million streams. So if you do the math, one song, the remix, has done close to about 1.8 billion streams. So it's expected that he should have been doing close to about 3.2 billion career stream across all credits. Moving on, we saw Portugal here in chat. We saw Rema Calm Down ranks number one on Portugal airplay chart for last year. It became the first African song to top the airplay year in chart list, and it's also the highest ranking African song ever on the single year-end chart. Massive one. Now, for Rema going to Portugal to top their list, amidst all the artists and creatives they have in that zone, is a big one. You want to give kudos to Ronaldo, right? But at the same time, let's also give massive kudos to Rema's hard work, because he created a masterpiece. And if your song is not good, nobody will listen to it. Massive one to Rema for achieving this greatness for himself as far as Portugal can be. Still a Rema we saw so far. These are Rema top 5 popular songs on Spotify. Obviously, Calm Down with Selena Gomez top the league with number 1. We have Boobaloo number 2, Calm Down number 3. We have Soweto, the remix with number 4, and then we have Charm as number 5. Still on Rema, we saw talking about as far as India, the Indian year-end chart. We saw Calm Down ranked as number 1 on the IMI singles annual chart for last year. It is the best performing international single in India, and at the same time, it is the first African song to top the year-end chart list. Now, why Rema was busted at the time, last year, 2 years ago, a lot of person came out to say he was sounding like an Indian person and, back and forth. And he has taken that not as an insult, but as a leverage. And so far, he has gone to the Indian space, dominated their charts, do numbers in their chart, and now topping their year-end list. So basically, you threw lemons at Rema, he made lemonades out of it. Moving on, we have WIZKID as the next guy on the news. We saw WIZKID now is back at number 1 on the Spotify Daily Top Artists. Now we have number 1, 2, and 3 as WIZKID, BURNA Boy, and Ashake. Ashake used to top this list for quite a number of time, and then we saw BURNA Boy coming through with Coming Home, which made him return to number 1, taking Ashake back to number 2, and then WIZKID with One Love and Bob Marley has prompted him again, and WIZKID is now sitting pretty as number 1. The tussle for this 3 is still on. This is for today's day. For tomorrow, you might be surprised to see Ashake back in number 1. Moving on, we saw Joe Boy speaking on a podcast on a radio program with the Beat FM, and then he came out to disclose what transpired between him and Empire Music that made him leave, and he also cleared the air if they are either feud or bad blood with him and Mr. Easy. All of these are what he said on this radio station. At the same time, we saw where after talking about his existence in the game for more than 4 years, he used WIZKID line where he said, "I try, I be I no try. If I no try, make una tell me now." These are lines that are known with WIZKID. WIZKID is one of those persons who actually loves in this line, and we saw Joe Boy actually had to use that line, and no wonder WIZKID is called the Machala. His influence is amazing, and we've seen other younger artists coming out to emulate what WIZKID is doing. Still on Joe Boy, we saw where he came out to explain that he left Empire Music because his deal has expired. He said he was signed to them, and after 5 years, his deal expired, and then he thought it's wise to leave the team at the time. And then he was asked if there were bad blood between him and Mr. Easy, and then he said, to the best of his knowledge, it's all love. So the fact that there is the best of your knowledge there made it look a bit controversial, but then he has said it's all love to the best of his knowledge. Could there be a problem? Only time will tell. Moving on, we saw WIZKID, obviously, his numbers on More Love Less Ego, maybe quite not too impressive, but obviously, these are not small numbers. We saw for the highest performing single is Too Sugar with 55 million. We have Back to Me with 34.6 million. We have Money and Love with 18.2 million. We have Slip and Slide with 10.8 million. We have Wow with 22.8 million. We have Balance with 9.1 million. We have Everyday with 5.8 million. We have Deep with 6 million, Special with 6.1 million, Flower Parts with 5.8 million, Pressure with 4.2 million, Plenty Loving with 3.7 million, and Frames currently doing 6 million on Spotify. Moving on, we saw Virgil van Dijk, Liverpool captain, Netherlands captain, one of the best defenders of our time. We saw where he came out to this to obviously mention his top 5 music he listened to, and surprisingly, Omale Oligos tops the list as number 1. Then we saw Ashake Lonely at the top as number 4, and Rema Cham coming as number 5. This is someone who has no roots to Africa, no maternity or paternity route to Africa, pure breed Netherlands, and doing supply trade in the UK. He is vibing to Afrobeats. If Van Dijk can vibe to Afrobeat, the question is, who are you not to vibe to Afrobeats? Moving on, we saw Sade coming out with his project, an amazing EP. And for the EP cover, there's so many elements. We saw where he made use of the Olamide Carpe Diem album, one of the artwork, and then for the track listing of the project, we saw where he used Burna Boy Love Daminis artwork, basically something like that, as the way he brought out the track list of the project. Amazing one. Sade is a growing Nigerian artist, one of the best we had so far. Finished from Yabatek, doing good for himself. At a point, a TikTok sensation, had crazy numbers on TikTok, and now he's set to take the game on a spree. On this collaboration, he had just one feature where he featured Belashmuda, and this is a sign to show that this guy is really ready for the business. Finally, we have Tiwa Savage, the queen of Afrobeat. She came out to give us updates on what her health looked like, and then she said, moving on from now, she might just be wearing glasses because at some point she noticed she was quitting to read. Her eyes were going bad. She could not read. If she saw an article online, she had to screenshot and then maybe go back and enlarge and zoom to be able to read it, back and forth. And then she was in London. She decided to visit the hospital that take care of eyes. And then we saw when she got there, she was advised to get glasses, and now she can see properly. And then she announced that Tiwa Savage is back, bigger and better. She's going to be on glasses. Obviously, she also mentioned that after she decided that she's going to be on glasses, she also decided to make it luxury, and then she got herself a Katia eyeglass. That's, trust me, so expensive, but it's Tiwa Savage. If it's not luxury, it's nothing. We just hope it's okay, and we can't wait to see what she's set to give us on our next adventure. My name is Daki. We'll catch you guys on the very, very next one.